Hello and welcome. Movies have the power to shape how we see the past, but sometimes Hollywood rewrites history for the sake of drama. From Viking warriors to ancient Egypt, many of the things we think we know are actually myths. Today, we are uncovering 10 historical myths that movies always get wrong. Stay until the end because number 10 might change the way you see one of the most famous civilizations in history. First, Vikings with horned helmets. In almost every Viking movie or cartoon, warriors charge into battle with massive horns on their helmets. The truth? No archaeological evidence shows Vikings ever wore them. The image actually came from 19th century operas, where costume designers wanted something dramatic on stage. In reality, Vikings preferred simple, practical helmets with no horns attached. Second, gladiators always fought to the death. Films like Gladiator make us think every match ended with blood and death. But gladiators were highly trained professionals, and their owners invested a lot of money in them. Killing them in every fight would have been a waste. Most duels ended when one fighter surrendered, and many survived dozens of matches. Third, the pyramids were built by slaves. Epic films often show slaves dragging stones under the whip of cruel masters. But evidence from workers' villages tells a different story. The builders were paid laborers who lived in organized communities and ate well. They were skilled workers, proud of their role in creating these wonders. Fourth, Columbus proved the earth was round. You've probably seen Columbus portrayed as the brave man who challenged the flat earth belief. In reality, scholars knew the earth was round since ancient Greece. The debate was not about shape, but about size, and Columbus actually underestimated how large the planet is. Fifth, medieval armor was too heavy to move. Movies show knights clumsily falling over, barely able to stand up in their armor. But authentic suits were carefully crafted, weighing about 20 to 25 kilos. Yes, heavy, but well-balanced. Knights could run, ride horses, and fight effectively. The clumsy knight stereotype is pure Hollywood exaggeration. Sixth, Napoleon was extremely short. Films and cartoons loved to portray Napoleon as a tiny, angry man. But in reality, he was about 5'6" to 5'7", average height for his time. The myth started from a mix-up between French and British measurements and later became popular propaganda against him. Seventh, witches were always burned at the stake. Hollywood loves showing witches tied to giant pyres, but the truth depends on where you look. In Salem, accused witches were hanged, not burned. In Europe, burning did happen, but it was far less common than movies suggest. Eighth, chastity belts were common in the Middle Ages. You've probably seen this in films, women locked into metal belts while their husbands went off to war. But historians believe most chastity belts displayed in museums were fakes, created centuries later as jokes or curiosities. There is almost no evidence they were ever widely used. Ninth, samurai constantly committed seppuku. Movies often show defeated samurai immediately performing ritual suicide. While seppuku was a real practice, it was reserved for specific situations, usually as an honorable punishment. It was not the everyday response to failure or defeat. Most samurai lived long lives, serving their clans faithfully. And 10th, hieroglyphs were just magical symbols. Adventure films often treat Egyptian hieroglyphs as mysterious spells no one could understand. But hieroglyphs were a real writing system, used for everything from religion to taxes. They were finally deciphered in the 19th century thanks to the Rosetta Stone. Far from being magical nonsense, they were the everyday written language of ancient Egypt. And there you have it, 10 myths that Hollywood keeps repeating. Movies may be entertaining, but history is often even more fascinating when you discover the truth. Which of these myths surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more history uncovered. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.